Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL.GG Grand Final matchup. This should be a fantastic one. Both of these teams are going to be fighting it out for over $2,000. That is going to be on the line here tonight. The winner is going to walk away with a cool $1.4 thousand. The loser's not going to be doing too bad for themselves with an $800 second place prize. They're going to be looking pretty. Right now, I am Sigafoo, joined out here with Nicel behind the scenes and VoxDei to my side. How you doing out here, VoxDei?
Oh, hell yeah, I am doing great. I mean, this is the culmination of a long season for these two teams and a really awesome playoffs for us here. So I'm thrilled to see how it's going to come down.
Yeah, and there's a lot we got to say, but before we get going to that, we can actually just go straight away to the pick bans for this first map, which is going to be on Koth Product. So hopefully we'll be getting yours started up shortly. But you can see here, DK coming out early, taking down the Bonk. And Froyotech going for the Deadringer early on here, which kind of makes sense. Bonk, DK actually played a game against Froyotech. No, I'm sorry, that was Generations. Played a game against Froyotech in the 6th week on CP Steel where Banny had access to Bonk, and oh my god, he ran wild. I think that's going to be one of the 3 bans you see out of DK every single map. Don't let Banny have Bonk. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on the Deadringer side of things for the second ban coming out of Froyotech?
It's a smart move. I mean, I'm really glad they chose to do that. Vipa last week was absolutely unstoppable on Spy, and I got to assume they must have been watching the match or something because they do not want him going off as he did last week.
Yeah, Vipa, they've had some class changes throughout the season. DK has. In particular, the Spy mix-up. Originally, they had Deft Joe, who's a fantastic Spy inside of UGC, but he seems to struggle as we see the next ban coming out, and they're going for Banny, and then they're going for Blaze. Gunboat's being taken away, so we are not going to see any of that, and that's going to slow down the Soldier game inside this map, which, I mean, it's not uncommon. I mean, really, for a Soldier to do an effective bomb inside of Product, you need to see them do a double bomb. Like, they need to do a jump to a wall and then do a second rocket jump to be able to do that. And so taking that away is definitely going to hurt Froyotech. As you can see, Froyotech, again, going for the Spy class, taking away the Cloak and Dagger.
I mean, Cloak and Dagger's another good ban. I've seen Spies play in a way that they just sit back, they calm for their team just for a bit, 20 seconds, get everyone into position, and then just lead their team into a charge. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, in Viswatch, you can still get away with a lot, so I kind of wish they'd maybe tried to ban Ambassador or something like that. I mean, who knows what the next one's going to be if they really want to destroy the Spy class. But Deadringer and Cloak and Dagger, they have a clear target, and they're sending DK a message.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do. This next ban, Gunslinger, going down out of DK is an interesting one, but I guess not the most surprising thing in the world because DK traditionally has not run Engineer, where Froyotech has. Froyotech has almost always run in Engineer full-time. Eric, who's been playing fantastic this season on the Engineer class. So I guess they're going like, all right, if you're going to run an Engineer, we're going to have to we're going to force him to play at 125 HP because the Gunslinger does give you that 25 HP boost, and then you also get the faster, sentry guns. Obviously, they do less damage, but it really does take that part away. If you put up a sentry gun with a wrench, it can be killed instantly due to the build time. So very good ban coming out there, and now we can see going for Boar. We haven't even talked about the snipers yet today. Boar for DK, I think undoubtedly the best sniper inside of RGL and possibly in all of TF2, has been fantastic as they also go for their first save of Kritzkrieg.
Yeah, we've seen Froyotech love to run that Kritzkrieg, so just want to make sure that they still have the chance. I'm not sure if DK would have used the ban. It would have been smart if they did, but either way, Froyo do not want to play any games, and they want to make sure that when they get aggressive, or if they maybe are at a slight disadvantage, they have the opportunity to run crits. And just a little bit more about that Machina ban, too. Like, that is huge. Boar was going off with it last week. I mean, yeah, he's still going to be dangerous with the regular sniper rifle, but that Machina is a huge upgrade, so it's good for them to try to hamper some of their biggest competition.
Well, and the thing that happened in the last time that Froyotech played on this map, They came up against Cat Noises. Froyotech barely won on product. They won 4-3 after was in a 3-3 tie. I mean, it was an incredibly close game, but the thing that really stood the difference between Froyotech and Cat Noises was Andrew on Sniper. He just went to town on Froyotech. They had no response to him. Because they run Eric on Engineer, that generally allows then a lot more free space for the Sniper, because usually teams run a Spy to counter the enemy Sniper, right? Like, you know, that was what was happening, is Percy was running Spy almost full time, and that allowed them to take down Focus Corsa for Froyotech. And then that meant that Andrew then had free reign, because he didn't have to worry about Corsa, because Corsa was being taken down by the Spy. And so it's obvious good ban coming out of Froyotech for what they want to do, taking away a little bit of that Sniper firepower. As we see the first save coming out of DK, the Ambassador, trying to save what little they can from the Spy class. But what would you be thinking for the second save coming out of here, VoxDei? What do you think DK should be saving in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I could see them maybe trying to save something like Girardi. So, Boar obviously default bans of Razorback and Darwin's Danger Shield. So what else are you going to use? So I feel like Girardi, if they save that and they can make sure they're always got them covered, the Froyotech combo is covered with that Girardi, it might be a really good move for them. That way their other players, you know, Jarrett maybe with a couple of pipes, or Shamu and Marmalou can do damage, some mini crits to a Girardi medic. So there are not too many other sniper secondaries you can play around with, and I would expect that Froyotech could go with a Girardi ban when they start. Oh, but actually they're going to save the Natasha. Interesting.
Huh. Well, I mean, their first ban was against Banny on the Scout class. Now they save the Natasha. I think that makes sense. They want to go, hey, we want to run this Natasha. I mean, DK runs a full-time heavy on Carl. Carl, one of the best heavies in the game. Give him a Natasha, and you're going to be slowing down. I mean, this is actually great because, you know, you have Blaze and Banny. Those are going to be the guys who are coming through the air, trying to push you forward, and now suddenly you have a Natasha slowing you down in the air. You don't have gunboats on your soldier to reduce damage. I think this makes a lot of sense. And so I'll be curious to see what Froyotech's save with their final one. They generally haven't used their saves to the best of their ability this season. They kind of have just thrown them away, focusing more on the ban. So I'll be curious what they want to do with this next one. But I like that Natasha pick a lot coming out of DK.
Yeah, I want to see their next save, Froyotech's next save, maybe be something for Scout. Criticola could come through, and Banny would be an absolute monster with that if he's playing Scout. You also, I mean, you have tons of other options. The Soda Popper, even if you wanted to, the Sandman. I don't know if Banny is much of a player that's would use the Sandman to its fullest ability, but you've got a lot of different Scout items that you could use. But then also, if Eric is going to be fooling around on Engineer, there's the Wrangler that you could save. So I'm interested to see. There are a couple different directions they could go. Oh, the Cow Mangler. So talk about coming out of left field with a pick.
Yeah, again, Froyotech has generally just kind of had some fun with their saves. They generally don't take them as seriously. But I think what they're going to regret right there is not saving the Criticola. You put the critical. I mean, obviously, Natasha's going to try to balance it out against the Scout, but not saving the critical. That would just allow Banny to do that much more work. I don't know, maybe Banny's not as big of a fan of Criticola, but I definitely think they might regret that, not giving Scout as much firepower. As we see the next two bans coming in here, Girardi going down, as well as Atomizer. So once again, Sniper being focused from Froyotech, and Scout being focused from DK.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense that Girardi ban, kind of like what I was saying. I was hoping that DK would save it, because it would be such a good item for them to have to really focus down, get those mini crits onto the combos. So Froyotech come through with the ban, which is smart by them. They don't want to leave any extra tools in the hands of Boar. He's already got a sniper rifle. He's got enough, is what they're trying to say. And that Atomizer, just keep focusing on the Scout. It's really funny because you can see through the pick bans who each team is really scared of, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of these things where it's kind of curious what we're going to see out of this final ban, if they're going to try to maybe focus something around the Spy class, or what they're going to be doing with this. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the other classes. Maybe You could go for heavy. Well, I guess you probably wouldn't focus down heavy since he's probably gonna be running the Natasha anyway. Maybe take away the sandwich. You know, if Froyotech's not planning on running the heavy, maybe take that away from Carl, so you can't use that. You know, you kind of already taken away all the good utility items from the sniper, so you're not worried about that. The spy, there's not really too much you can go after. So for their final ban here, I mean, it's kind of up in the air of maybe something else that they could be worried about. Maybe just taking away the reserve shooter. You know, just take away that option, take away the ability from DK to run a pyro or anything like that. But the big earner, going for the spy class once again. And honestly, the big earner can be pretty good here, especially in Pro-Lander.
Yeah, that's an amazing ban. I mean, Big Earner at this point, in terms of in Highlander, has outclassed pretty much every other knife. That speed boost, and no one cares about that 25 health. The fact that you can chain stab so well with it, you get the one, and it can just boost you either away if you need to try to jump out. I mean, usually you combo with the Dead Ring or something, or you can chain it onto a medic demo and then just get out because of that speed boost. So a really great ban. I would have expected you know, whoever ends up playing spy for a DK, that would be either Vipa or Deft, right?
Yep, it usually is Vipa. It's going to be the final one, Criticola. That's it. Here we go. This is going to be our ban list for the first one. It's going to be Bonk, Gunboats, Gunslinger, Deadringer, Cloak and Dagger, Machina, Atomizer, Criticola, Girardi, and Big Earner as our 10 bans this game. Plus, as always, the default bans of Razorback and Darwin's Danger Shield. So the ones in the red are going to be not able to use this game. Everything else is on limits. You can use any other weapon in the game, including the green ones, by either team, but the red ones are completely banned from this match. But the Criticola, I think a smart ban coming out of DK, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Froyotech didn't save that in their final slot.
Yeah, I think both teams probably, I mean, in my opinion, obviously there's a lot going on. These teams have discussed now and beforehand, so they have different ideas and objectives than we do, but I really would have thought that Froyotech would have come through with a save on the critical or something for Banny, or that DK would have gotten the save on Girardi or something like that. But yeah, I mean, giving Carl the Natasha, although they're not it's not a direct ban on a scout weapon, it really does hamper Banny's mobility because of that slow mint.
Yes, the slow movement. You're making new words here. I love it.
Yeah, but it's a good save. I don't think that Froyo would have banned it though, and that's a little bit of a mind game. Do you go and make sure that you save that weapon that you really want to use? Or, I mean, Natasha's not really on too many people's radar. They could have maybe got away with it and then gotten a free save. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they could have used it maybe for the big earner, something like that. I mean, as we go into the next, so they do a new pick ban before each map, and so it wouldn't surprise me if we see that. But just my TF2 is restarting right now as I had some issues, but hopefully we have pretty close here to ready it up. And I mean, overall, I mean, just looking at these bans, I mean, a lot of the games can be decided early on here from the bans. I mean, the teams are going to fight it out, but if you get a good pick and ban, it really can set the tide for you. And kind of looking at this, do you think that there's one team who kind of came out on top in terms of their ban list?
It's really hard to say. I think that DK for me really does it. Yes, Spy can be such a powerful class. It's a pick class. You get to just roam around free running, but the amount of impact I feel that a Spy on this map could have is not as much as Banny would be doing playing Scout with all of his toys, you know? So I think that DK, the fact that they've hampered Scout as much as possible, they've really taken a lot out of Banny's, you know, a weapon cache. Sure, yeah, he still has the raw power DM just to blast through anything with that default scattergun. But I think that Banny's impact on Scout is what I'm trying to say is bigger than Vipa's on Spy. So DK come through with the better bans in my opinion because they focus down one of the best players in TF2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that yeah, as you said, I think this favors a little bit of DK. I think they did a really smart job. I think the save of the Natasha just kind of tells you what their game plan is going to be out the gate. The Bonk as well as taking down the critical and atomizer, really trying to stop a Banny, and then a little bit on the gunboats. But here's the thing, is that these teams are going to learn to adjust to each other when we move on to the second map of the series, which is going to be on Upward. And it's going to be kind of curious to see what they learn from each map and what they see teams doing and not doing, you know, along those lines. And I wouldn't be surprised if DK focuses a little bit more of the engineer class, you know, particularly when we go over to Upward. But yeah, I mean, Froyotech's stuff is good. I mean, taking away the Machina is good. But yeah, I mean, I think it just shows you how scared Froyotech is of the Spy class. I mean, Spies can do good, but honestly, Froyotech has been doing a pretty good job of Spy checking. I mean, Froyotech has not been bad this season when it comes to Spies. But then again, Vipa, I think, was a really big difference maker when it came to that map. We're very close to going live here, guys. We're only missing one player on the server to get going. And, I mean, when we talk about some of the key classes going in here, starting out with, let's go with Boar. Why don't you tell me about VoxDei? Why don't you tell me about Boar?
Boar is, at this point, if not the best sniper in North America, he's right up there. You know, there's very few names at this point that you can say that will elicit as much fear in enemy players. He's just been on a torrid pace throughout these throughout the playoffs. Recently saw him in the ETF2L Nations Cup as well, where he went off. It was insane. He's just playing on another level, and the fact that you have someone so consistent, and that's really the key. It's great when your sniper, okay, every once in a while he can go on a nice little 5k streak, but he is consistently fragging from the second the timer starts till the end of the round. So the fact that he's consistently making plays for his team just does wonders for DK, and they can really rely on him as a player to just kind of work around, to center their entire game plan around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really going to be the question today, is if Boar can go off, this is going to be a tough matchup for Froyotech. This map in particular is so sniper friendly. I imagine he's going to be doing work. You know, on the Froyotech side, one of the interesting mix-ups is, so they don't have Corsa today, but honestly, I don't think that's as much of a downside as it would seem. Corsa has been struggling all season to really kind of set himself apart. And I think that's partially due to the fact that enemy teams tend to run a Spy. He doesn't have the Razorback to fall onto. And because the enemy team, Froyotech rarely runs a Spy, it always puts Corsa at a disadvantage. And it's shown in his numbers. He's usually being out-sniped in almost every single game. And so he's actually currently away. So it's going to be Slemnish who's going to be filling his spot on the sniper class. And Slemnish has been doing fantastic on the scout class. As we have 14 live in the server real time, so you should get started up here. But I'll be curious to see how Slemnish kind of steps it up. But one of kind of the underdog people that I love to talk about in Froyotech, and I mentioned his name before, is Eric. He has been on fire. I think that he's one of the reasons Froyotech has been doing so well, because he's just been such a fantastic utility class. You know, he's really mixed it up. He's a fantastic engineer. He understands how to play it. He's not just a sixes player playing pro lander. He really understands how to play the format, which is what we kind of tend to see, you know, out of teams, is that when you just have a sixes player come play objective-based game modes, they tend to struggle. Like, you have to think about your actions and what you're doing, and you can see that out of Eric. He's a very thoughtful, intelligent player, and I'm really kind of excited to see what he has to do. What are some of the other names over on the DK side, VoxDei, besides Boar, who are standout players?
Yeah, I during the match from last week, Shamu and Marmalou were a pretty great flank combo together, and I'm interested to see how they're gonna go toe to toe with Froyotech. I mean, going up against Spanny is not going to be an easy task for them, but I think they're pretty used to playing against him. I believe they have scrimmed plenty of times over in the sixes ESEA scene. But also Carl. He's really the leader of this team. He's a very, very strong, smart mind when it comes to TF2. He's someone that if you ask him how to play a specific map, how you can improve this or that on, even not just like in terms of strategy, but going so far as to how to improve maps and stuff like that. So he's got a really smart mind for the game, and his main calling is also very strong because of that. So yes, Banny, I've heard and I've seen him do great things to lead his team, but Carl can do just as much for his team. So if they can really rally around him, listening to his calls, and they must have to get to this point. The fact that they've gotten to grand final speaks volumes on Carl's ability to lead. They can really ride his main calling, hopefully into a first place spot.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can do just that. I mean, obviously, pretty much everybody over on the Froyotech side is a name that you can write home about, or you already know, as most of them are players for Froyotech themselves in the 6v6 realm over in ESEA. Banny, Habib, Shade, Blaze have all been doing just a fantastic job, as well as Eric. Yams has been a guy who came in after Garbulio left after kind of the whole situation about the I-Series, and so he left the RGL team as well, and so they brought in Yams, and I think that's kind of one of the weaker points is that Yams, I believe he's fantastic player. Obviously, if you're playing an invite, you have to be, but I haven't seen him make as much of a difference as the other people on his team. So I'm kind of curious to see if we can kind of have them step up. But this is Froyotech's map that they chose. We're going to be starting out on Product, and we're going to be playing first to 3. So whichever team gets 3 wins first, that is what it's going to be. But as we get started up here, I mean, do you have predictions? Who do you think is going to take this map?
Yeah, this is really, if the DK from last week shows up, I think they really do have a strong chance to take it. If DK wins, they have to do it with the 3-2 style, and I don't see a way that Froyo don't grab at least 2, but I have to lean more in their corner. I think we're going to see close rounds, maybe some double overtimes come out, but I got to give it to Froyo on a 3-1 on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, honestly, this could be potentially something that DK surprises Froyo on. The one thing that we saw, and the big thing is when DK gets set up on their defense, they're incredibly hard to push against. And that's what Cat Noise has struggled a lot against, is figuring out how to push. And especially when you're running an engineer, when you run an engineer, it just makes it that much more harder to push because you don't have as many classes to make those opening picks. Now, we do see Eric, sometimes he'll run engineer, sometimes he'll switch off to spy. He really does tend to fill that flex role, as I believe we are live in real time, so we will be getting readied up here in the server very shortly, but I wouldn't be surprised if this goes all the way out, goes to a 3-2, but I'm going to go against you here, and I'm going to say 3-2 in the favor of DK. I think they're going to take this map.
How dare you? How dare you go against me?
I don't know. I just really like the picks out of DK. It's one of these things where we'll see what they want to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to. But looking forward to the next map series, do you think that DK is going to be able to take Upward? Do you think they have the advantage against Froyotech on the next map as well?
On Upward, yeah, I definitely think they do. Although they played in week 1, it was Badwater and Froyo. Froyo won. DK was a much different team, I feel. The team I saw in week 1 was definitely not the same team that I've seen the past couple weeks. So if it goes to Upward, I expect DK to be playing their hearts out, whether it's to close it out or to fight for a third map. So they're really going to be giving it their all, and I think that they could come out on top for Upward.
We'll see what happens here as we are live, guys. This is it, the grand finals. Everything on the line. Froyotech versus DK, fighting it out for their share of the $4,000 prize pool. DK starting out on red, and it's going to be Froyotech on blue. Early on here, just kind of jostling. We see Viper running the spy class. Eric is also on spy, not running engineer here early on. We're doing pretty much mirror matchups. No pyro on either side, as well as no engineer. As Viper gets caught out there early on. Nice job there by Banny.
Oh, Eric!
Eric going big, picking up a frag, taking down skis.
That's an absolutely great play. I mean, Eric just comes through. You were talking him up. And the fact that he did Viper's job, the thing that Viper was doing so great last week, and just, oh yeah, no problem, I can do that too. It's just great play to set his team up right from the start.
Yeah, we can also see Froyo is running Kritzkrieg on Shade. That's a weapon that they did save. They do like to do that. One thing we also saw is Shade will pick up the enemy medic's weapon to switch off to Ubercharge. So you can see Slemnish set up on top of the rock here, using that cozy camper, so he's going to be hard to get a distraction. Eric on Engineer now. After he got that pick to get a little bit more defensive setup, Boar gets taken out. Here comes the bomb in. Shade! He needs so much damage. Gets killed there. That's going to be a drop, though, of a crit screen. Not as important, though. Nice shot there by Slemnish, picking up that frag. Only 2 players left alive here as Skis went down again. Blaze counter-bombed back in, taking him down. And that's the thing, is if you go for a suicide wave, you can't expose your medic. And they do have the respawn advantage, DK does, but they really could have that Uber advantage, and that's going to hurt them here.
Yeah, one thing to note too, I really like the fact that Eric, he went Spy in the beginning to get a pick, and now he's over on Engineer now that they have the point, building up a level 3. Viper's going to get a pick onto Yamps on the cliff, so he's definitely coming to his team that the sentry's there, but DK just getting onto the point. They're going to take it brute force to grab that point right under Froyo's nose. I don't think Eric's sentry, that's going to go down right now, so they have an advantage over Shade, who's actually back on Ubercharge now. So we'll have to see, now that they have the point, how well can they hold it.
And this is where DK has shown themselves to be an incredibly good team, especially when they get Carl set up. Carl is running the Natasha, so that's going to make it hard to get any sort of bombs in, because you get touched with that, that's going to slow you down. Blaze doing a good job aggressing over on the concrete side. Trying to push them back. Eric back onto the Spy class. No Engineer right now. So it looks like they're going to be running Spies to be able to get picks to open it up. And that always kind of throws teams off when you go in and off the Spy. It makes them a little bit complacent. But currently, they're about to tie it up here with Froyotech Banny aggressing across the point. Here comes in the Ubercharge. It's going to be the Delman jumping over the top. A little bit of a better Ubercharge coming out of the red side, though he is doing a lot of flashing right now. And here comes Jarek trying to get some stickies underneath the enemy teams, but he gets taken out. A beautiful sticky in pipe taking him down. And so a couple key classes going down here early on in this fight. Skis has to be careful that he doesn't get taken out. Vipa is right behind the enemy medic. We'll see if he goes for a decloak. He is going to get spotted out there. Yams with some beautiful IQ there in TF2. Seeing him, the point goes back in the favor of Froyotech, but not a bad point hold out of DK.
Yeah, Blaze takes out Boar. Just one for the road. He jumps in, grabs him, gets out actually onto the combo right now. Habib jumped in, but not able to get the frag. But Froyotech is sending more bodies, and Banny's going to get the frag onto Skis as Shade actually finishes off Jarrett. Must have hit him with a an arrow before he cratered or something. But very good job, Froyotech, recognizing that they had the numbers to just jump in, see what they could get. And the fact that they sent so many bodies over on Skis by that cliffside, it's going to mean 100% just a full ad in their favor now.
And Vipa is now switched off of Spy onto the Pyro class. He's going to actually use that to blast back this Ubercharge advantage. He's going to suicide himself, but that ultimately renders that Ubercharge completely useless because they weren't able to get forward with it. Here comes Jarrett over the top, gets a pipe onto Shade, trying to get more, trying to do it. Shade dancing for his life. Shamu's pushing in with him, ultimately takes him down. They come back, take down this point, and get several frags in the process. Only 3 left alive here for Froyotech. Banny's going to try to push by himself, but he's going to get repelled back by so many players onto the point. And a minute 40 ticking down currently in the favor of DK, but they don't have their demo man here for a little while longer, so that's just going to make them hurt a little bit. And Eric, again, back on the Spy class, going for Boar. He gets called out there, and that's going to be a nice pick, taking him down, because that's going to allow Boar to get that many more snipes.
Yeah, Froyotech trying to edge the point, just get a little bit of cap time on there. It looks like they're trying to spam out Jared as much as they can. Vipa's going to get the pick on to Slemnish, and no sniper now for the Froyo side. And they're edging point again with Banny. That's just smart play. Get a little bit of cap time at a time, and suddenly you'll realize you have the point. But the Uber is being used behind the rock right now. Jarrett is chasing, trying to see what he can get, but a few people on DK are actually going to go down. They haven't gotten any return frags, however. Shade's going to come back through main. Jarrett tries for one more hero play, but he is going to go down. Now with the numbers and the heal advantage, Froyotech is going to come up with the point with Ubercharge as well, so they've only got 30 more seconds before they secure this first round.
They really needed to have Shamu playing closer to the combo in that situation. They kind of popped that because they were getting forced out. They wanted to defend the point. They didn't want to give it up for free, but ultimately they gave away a free Uber, trying to go a solo Uber with Jarrett in that situation. If they would have brought the scout in with Ubercharge, it would have been a lot different, but now they have to push in to 100% Ubercharged medic. Vipa goes down, Yams gets headshot as they're going to try to aggress onto this point, but here comes in Banny, and this is exactly the power of an Ubercharged scout. Right across, only one two players left alive, and there you go. And first win, very confident win out of Froyotech, though DK didn't look half bad with 44 seconds left on the clock as we come into the second round.
Yeah, pretty decent job by DK there. I think their holds needed to be a little bit better. The aggressive Uber at the end didn't really work out for them. So let's see if they can do things better in this round. We'll see. Also, Eric is back on Spy. If he can get that early pick on the Shade again, actually goes down. So Jarrett is going to find him out. But Boar is going to get traded out by Slemnish. So good pick as then he goes down. A little bit of musical frags. So we've got DK edging the point. They should come down with it unless Froyo sacks a ton of players. No, it looks like they're going to grab it and not lose anyone important. So Shade's going to have that 85% even Ubers between the two teams.
Though they do lose Shamu as he was backing up. He's going to get put onto a long respawn due to dying after they control the point. Here comes out the Uber charge onto Jarrett. They're trying to milk out this Uber as much as possible, and it's going to be much better, about a 40% advantage in terms of this, but Jarrett's completely alone. He doesn't have anybody to support them with him. As much as that milk was good, now they might get a little bit caught out here. Jarrett's going to get pushed back, or though picking up a nice headshot, make that two, taking down as many as he can. Vipa gets caught out there, but they might try to re-aggress this after getting those frags. The point goes back in the favor of Froyotech, so every frag they get right now, it's the conch is going to come out, using the speed boost out of Marmalou. Eric's trying to focus down the soldier. Finally, he does go down, but that was enough to regain back this point. And that was a nice off-Uber push, using the conch out of the soldier, using the unlocks to their advantage to recapture that point, and barely lost 15 seconds.
Yeah, just a smart play by DK. You don't always need to wait for Uber for a push. The fact that they had Marmalou on that conch just really secured them a chance for that point. And I want to see. I mean, Froyotech has been pretty good at retaking the point, so I don't expect they're going to be denied for too long. Shade's actually coming up on that Uber in just a second, so it's going to be up to them to figure out if they can get that first pick as they start to flood a few players in. Shamu is actually going to go down. Jarrett as well. That's the opening. They have a 7v5 with even Ubers. Vipa taken out as well. It looks like DK, though, they're just backing off. They're going to give this point up, wait for their numbers, and then go probably just for a pure Uber trade.
Well, because the thing is, they Uber trade when they don't control the point. Again, they get that respawn advantage, so there's no reason to really kind of try to fight that with only 4 players. Blaze almost getting caught out there. Nice job by Shade getting an arrow onto him to keep himself alive. Finally does go down, make that 2 picks. And DK's just going to aggress in here. They're going to use the supercharge. Froyotech's going to respond with their own, but it's not really going to be for much. Banny's going to try to pick up a frag onto Shamu. He does just that, who got disconnected. Now going down to Skis, who's completely alone. This should have been a much better Uber fight. Skis gets taken out from behind. Now he's going to go for Marmalou on the backside. Picks up that. And just a disaster of a push coming out of DK. The miscoordination coming out. As now Jarrett's going 1v1 against Jarrett, but Boar, the massive, the huge headshots on his 6K right now. Get on his back as DK is being carried by him. We'll see if they can continue to aggress across this point, but this is looking very good for them right now as it's only Habib forward.
Yeah, and you know, I was gonna say that Boar was pretty well taken out of the game up until now, but I mean, he's just proving me wrong on an 8K. They were doing such a great job with Slimnish countering him, and then Eric, when he was on Spy, was taking him out. Boar, so aggressive on the enemy cliff, takes Slimnish yet again. And Boar's on now. He's getting up, and this could really spell disaster for Froyo if they don't cool him down pretty soon.
Yeah, this is looking great right now. A 9-kill streak currently Boar is sitting on top of. That's fantastic. I mean, we said he's got to be able to counter it in, but here we go. It's going to be the Scout Uber charge going across the point. Skis got taken out there early on. Eric with a nice backstep, and so they're going to push across this for free. Boar is currently up on the cliff trying to find a snipe onto point as Shamu's still trying to contest this point. He's going to get taken out by Yams, who's down incredibly low. Marmalou is also going to get his life traded out as Boar finally gets taken out. That's a clean wipe in the favor of Froyotech. Nice job there, working off the pick of Eric and just using pure aggression. That's the kind of coordination that you're going to see out of a Sixes team, finding an advantage and then working off that. They're going to go for a forward hold as well as Yams gets an early frag here out of main as Shamu using the Sandman, getting a stun onto Yams, but he's still being kept alive. Shade with the clutch arrows as 3 players get taken out here early on, trying to push out as Froyotech has an incredibly aggressive hold right now as they control the point.
Yeah, the fact that they've set up on the enemy grass at the moment, and they're just waiting. They've got players getting ready to scout out and let them know if they need to rotate. Marmalou is actually going to get taken down by Habib. So they're just going to keep eyes on all the choke points and figure out exactly where they need to rotate to really stuff DK. I mean, what was once just such a great round in their favor is slowly turning to Froyotech.
Yeah, Vipa also got taken out as well. Not having that cloak and dagger, I think is hurting them. Here comes out the early Uber charge. It's going to be used onto a soldier, and that's it. They get the force out. Skis is going to be running back. We'll see if he can get out alive. He's actually getting caught in there. A block. Blaze just stopped him from running out, and the frags are coming out. Eric pushing all the way. I'm sorry, Eric on the spy class is all the way through. Jarrett bombing in, takes down the medic. At least trades off with Shade. So the respawns are going to be faster for DK here, but with 18 seconds left on the clock, they need to just have one perfect push. This is going to force Froyotech to have to back up, as Yams and Habib are the only players left alive for it, as well as with Eric on the spy class. Here comes out the respawn. It's also going to be Kritzkrieg coming out here. Jarrett needs to bomb onto the point. Yams is already holding onto it. He's going to take down DK, and there you go. The Froyotech aggressive hold is going to take it as we end the first half here on this map. And it's going to be match point as we go into the second half for Froyotech.
Just a really great display there. I mean, the Boar got really hot. He was doing really well, but as soon as they broke that hold and Boar went down, Froyotech was like, nope, we cannot afford him any room to snipe. We can't let him get up on cliff. We can't let him get over to China. So we need to get aggressive, and we need to choke him off at the spawn, because what are you going to do? There's really not much room to snipe from if you go through one of those three choke points at the spawn. So just a very smart play by Froyo, recognizing what DK was doing to beat them, and then just counter-stratting.
I mean, I really think DK just needed to go with a different strategy when they're getting passively held. Maybe go for a suicide wave, try to get something out. They just played so passively, and they played so scared from the teams. You know, I really think they could have done a lot better out of that hold. They waited for an Uber charge to come out, as teams are live in real time for the second half. And we'll see what they will come out on top. But I mean, I really do think the bans, particularly taking away that cloak and dagger, is hurting Vipa, because there's not a ton of ammo packs here, you know, for spy. And so the dead winner obviously kind of sucks, but not having the cloak and dagger, I don't think I realized how much that's going to affect Vipa, because he can't just sit, wait, watch. And Froyotech's doing a good job of being spy aware, keeping their game sense out there. And now it's going to be DK's back against the wall. They have to win the next 2 rounds to send it into overtime if they're going to have a chance at taking anything away from this first map.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important. I actually really like when a spy will sit back for a bit and calm for your team. Like, okay, you know, right now the combos in pocket, they're rotating through main. Having those constant calls, especially on enemy snipers too, really affords your team the ability to make sure you rotate with them, away from them, depending on the situation, or get your sniper in a position to counter snipe. So without having that cloak and dagger, it might hamper Vipa's ability to calm to his team. And I mean, let me take a look at these logs. Oh, nope, we're getting live here in our second half. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah, just real quick on the logs. Boar top fragged the last round, 18 frags. Closest one to him was Banny. So really, we're just going to need to see the other classes stepping up for DK besides Boar. If they do that, they're going to have a chance. These rounds have been so close already, but we'll see what they can do right now as we come into this potential final round of Viaduct. The first map in a best-of-3 series, as Vipa gets taken out there early on. Eric has yet to be really caught out here in these early fights. And right now, it's in the favor of Froyotech as they're getting early frags. Eric's coming in for a stab. Gets a butter knife, I believe, with the help of his team. Actually, it's a pistoling down the heavy. And DK is going to lose this mid-fight.
Yeah, that was just an absolutely brutal display by Froyotech. They systematically picked him off one by one. Slemnish got the shot onto Boar as well, which just ruined any chance. Actually, all the way aggressive at the spawn right now is using a Kritzkrieg as Froyotech. They're not going to get anything from it. Habib tried to get a couple sticks down, but doesn't pick anything up. I like the idea, I guess. I mean, I like the aggression, but now they're going to be facing 100% Uber with nothing to show for it. Banny and Slemnish are down, as well as Blaze. Marmaloo is going to be the only pick in Froyo's favor, so I think they're going to be able to grab this point without even having to use.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just making sure that they don't die to any of the pick classes from the enemy team. But with Slemnish down right now, they can rest assured that they'll be okay. As Boar picks up a headshot onto Eric. There's a teleporter currently up as Eric is on the engineer class right now. Doesn't have the gunslinger to use to help out his team. Eric hasn't been playing as much engineer as he has in the past. He's been preferring the spy, especially when they do not control the point, and that is why he is now switched back off onto the spy class. Jarrett's playing incredibly aggressively. They're going to use the Uber charge. They need to bring in their scout in onto this Uber charge, and that's exactly what they're doing. Here comes in Shamu, trying to chase down Shade, going down to half HP. They pick up the frag. He trades out his life, but that's going to be worth it as they only lose one, take down the enemy medic, and control the point. That's exactly what they needed to adjust from the first round, and they do just that. Now they just got to be careful not to die to Eric and not to die to Slemnish, as Marmalou takes down Slemnish, so that's going to calm their fear just a little bit more, as Eric made himself appear in the backlines using that pistol.
Yeah, I like the fact that Eric, he's been switching to spy when Froyo's on the offensive side, switching to engineer when they're on the defensive side. And that willingness to switch is always great to see. As you see, Vipa is in behind at the moment. I don't know if he's going to be able to get... No, Fanny is going to take him out. I'd like to see a little bit more switching around by DK, but maybe they don't feel the pressure. Eric is going to get the stab on the boar, open things up for Froyo. Slemnish is getting aggressive, taking a peek on the China, takes out Shamu. So you see how much one pick can do for a sniper. As they clean up a few more players. Luckily, Skis is out. He had about 70 health, but he's going to escape with his life and with about 100% Uber.
Yeah, I mean, even though they lost this point, they'll be able to regress right away. There's no reason they won't be able to. Froyotech is going for an incredibly aggressive hold. Slemness is trying to shut down the main push. Habib is holding over on the cliffside. Shade is holding over on grass. But the stab comes up early on, takes down Yamps, and that's going to allow him to come out main. And here they go. Jer coming through, gets a sticky underneath of Shade, who is going to go down to half HP. They're doing a lot of flashing. Skis is going to get pushed out here. Nice job focusing down frags as best they can, but here comes in Marmalou using the conch to help out his team. Vipa picks up a frag onto the backside. Shamu is still onto the conch, trying to do what he can. Shade going down and Cully low. Carl is on the point on the backside. Now they're caught actually behind enemy lines as they're holding onto this boar, hard scoping onto concrete. Finally pulls back out as the Milk is going to come out onto the enemy team to see if they can help it out. But DK does come back with the point, but they're going to lose it just as quick as Froyotech aggressing back onto, or will they? As they do take back the point, but can they sustain as Yams? Great arrows coming out of Shade, keeping them alive, keeping their heavy up. And this extended fight seems to be going in the favor of Froyotech. Blaze misses the rocket onto Skis. That was such an easy one, and he just beefs it, not uncharacteristically. And Skis is going to hold on to his life in about a 60% Uber charge.
Yeah, DK want to push forward onto the point. Shade actually goes down. That's Vipa with the +2 onto him. So huge pick for him there. It's going to afford his team chance to get on a point. But no, Carl can't protect his medic. And Skis is going to go down to Banny. Oh, that was almost perfect by DK. Vipa comes through with the clutch pick. They start getting on a point, but Banny didn't. Never. Vipa just got another pick on the Shade from spawn. Oh, DK still alive here.
Yeah, they are currently losing in terms of time, but they are winning currently in terms of medical advantage, in terms of that Uber charge. Boar picking up a nice headshot onto Habib, so that's going to slow Froyotech down just that much more. DK's been playing it more passively when they control the point. They haven't gone for any aggressive holds, opting more to let just Froyotech work themselves into it. Eric's doing a good job. Nice job out of DK there, spotting Eric on the spy class as Blaze is trying to push in here. Boar barely escapes with his life. Finally does go down. Banny onto a 3K, aggressing onto this point. Medics only at 82%. They can't defend this with an Uber charge yet. They're doing everything they can to be kept alive. Banny knows this. He's pushing across the point. 4 frags right there out of Banny. Marmalou pops his conch, maybe a little bit poorly. He jumps in onto the match. Shay going down to half HP with no support. He's not going to be able to pick up that frag. The point goes back in the favor of Froyotech. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I wonder if the call was just to have Marmalou jump in, and so he figured why not use the conch. I would have wished they held on to it and then used the conch during this push. But Froyo is actually going to be the first one to use Uber. So far, it's just a solo on the DK side, so they have the advantage here. In this Uber, they can flash a little bit. Eric's going to go down, getting on to Yamps with Shamu, so he's going to take him out. 2 more get traded on the DK side. It is a 3v4 in the favor of DK, but Banny is on a roll as he takes down Vipa as well. The point, however, will go into DK's favor. It is 0-0-0 on the clock for Froyo. They can close this out here. DK, however, just need to hold this for 25 more seconds.
The problem is those respawns are still not up. Honestly, it would have been better for Shamu to get off the point. Let the time expire, because as soon as the point gets switched over, your respawns get lengthened. So they're just, DK's just finally getting back to the front line, but they're going to have to deal with so many 7 players from the Froyotech side. They're trying to aggress across right now. Now, as Yam's getting onto the point, here comes in a lot of rockets onto the heavy. The engineer class is being pulled out here from all the stops are coming out right now. We'll see what they can do. Bandy gets taken out, and somehow they're holding on to his. Jericho is down. Now it's just up to Habib with his medic. He takes down Carl. He's going to try to push across the point onto Boar as he's eating a lot of damage from onto Boar, going for a miracle snipe. Close range. Habib eating a lot of health right now. Vipa is going to be pushing on here with the rescue ranger. Here comes out the Uber charge. It's just the engineer class. He's going to be using He's going to be using his melee, trying to take down Shade as Shamu's coming back in here. The Uber charge is still alive. The gun did go down, but the soldier comes back inside. Shamu doing everything you can. Chaos is happening onto the point, but Froyotech will still come out on top, take it 3-0 in this first map, in this absolutely crazy first round.
Wow, that was the longest fight for an overtime I have ever seen. What breaks my heart too is Vipa really could have done a lot there, but he was on Rescue Ranger instead of Shotgun. You have Shotgun, I mean, the guy can hit ambi shots. I'm sure that he can do some damage with a shotgun. He probably cleans up a little bit more. That Uber is a little bit more useful, but the Rescue Ranger, oh, that's a heartbreaker for DK. Almost forced another round, but Froyotech are gonna close it out. Hot damn.
Hot damn indeed. And you can see a big difference in the last round. The 1 round logs, Banning got 15 frags in that round alone. 15 mother flipping frags, going absolutely insane. And besides that, just really looking at the stats, Marmalou, Vipa, Boar, and Shamu, it's a complete inverse. We saw Blue running out 4 of the top 5. Now it's Red, DK. They really should have won that round. If they clutched that final point, they would have put themselves into a good spot. We're coming out onto Upward now as the bans and saves are coming out right now, so we can switch over to that. As we can see early on here, Froyotech, the away team, taking down the Wrangler in Machina early on as DK once again first banning out the bonk.
Yeah, they really do not want Banny to have the bonk in their hands. Froyo, though, working quickly. Wrangler out of the way, and you know what's interesting here is we haven't seen DK run engineer much, if not all, on payload maps. So I wonder if that Wrangler might end up being a wasted ban if DK decide not to run Engie as they classically have done. Machina out and Bonk being out. I'm assuming we're gonna see some similar things. Froyotech probably gonna opt for at least 1 or 2 spy weapons, as DK will try to focus down the scout or soldier as well. Scout does have some room to roam on Upward, maybe not on the offensive side since really more of a cart roll. But we'll see what DK decide to come out with for their next ban.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what they want to do. You know, I think they should ban Rescue Ranger, and the pure reason is that Eric has shown himself to be a complete nuisance on the engineer. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do for that. You know, do they want to let Eric have his Rescue Ranger? Because that's really what makes the engineer work, is being able to save your gun at a range, be able to heal it up, not be able to take it out. Because DK, they very rarely run an engineer class. But actually, DK taking out the Kritzkrieg, of all things, a very interesting choice coming out of them, especially to be such an early ban. I guess Froyotech does tend to save that, but I feel like DK's next ban has to be Criticola. I think Froyotech knows they are going to ban it in the second wave. I think that Froyotech would save that in the next round. But it's going to be curious. What do you think Froyotech's going to put out for the third ban here? I think it's going to be Deadringer.
Yeah, it's... Oh, hey, so... Do you have some ESP? Are you cheating, dude? Do you have walls? Yeah, Deadringer ban comes through, and that's smart. I figured they would kind of operate in the same way. They need to focus down the spy. Yeah, you know, Vipa didn't get to have the most impactful half. Yeah, we saw him get drops. I'm not discrediting what he did, but he could have done a lot more if not for those spy bans. So it's smart for Froyotech to go ahead and make sure that they continue to focus him down so he can't have an absolutely huge game. For DK, I don't know. I don't know what they could go. The Criticola does seem like a smart move, though, to make sure they get rid of that. I mean, they've got the Kritzkrieg out of the way. You're kind of in a rock and a hard place. Do you want to focus Scout or Engineer? Because, like you said, Eric does so much on the class.
Well, and this is just it, is like, I don't know how much Kritzkrieg would have made a difference. It might have even landed all the way through to the final ban phase. You know, going for your second ban on Kritzkrieg, you know, maybe that's not the best thing, but sometimes maybe they went for one of their off bans just to see if Froyotech would ban something they wanted to ban, you know, do a little mind games kind of a thing. But coming out here, I just would be shocked if they did anything besides Criticola. You know, I'm thinking about what else they did. They banned the gunboats, not as effective on this game mode. You know, I'd be surprised if they do that. I think the biggest thing we're seeing is the Gunslinger going down. That's shocking to me. It's shocking that they're going to take away the Gunslinger. Again, trying to focus down Eric, but I really think that the Rescue Ranger is the bigger issue for this. And now we're coming into the first save, and I have to imagine it's going to be Machina for Boar.
Well, Machina is already banned.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm blind.
Oh, they saved the gunboats. Froyo go through and save that. I don't know if they necessarily needed to. Oh, well, it's gonna, yeah.
There we go.
It was DK's choice. They saved the Cloak and Dagger. Smart move. Got banned last time. They want to make sure Vipa still has that to use. It's a great watch on a map like Upward, especially because you can sit behind and just calm pushes. Like, okay, the medic's up at 100% now. They're starting to move forward, and you can, okay, defensive positions, guys. V formation, and get ready to get ready for that. So, and the gunboats being saved, I don't know if it's necessary. Yeah, DK have shown a propensity to want to ban it, but how much is Blaze going to do with the gunboats that he wouldn't be able to do with a buff on Upward? I mean, if you're going in for a bomb, you're just sacking in either way. So I don't know. We'll see if it works out in their favor.
I mean, it definitely, having that extra 20 to 30 HP can make the difference. I mean, when we're talking about this high skill level of teams, you know, every little bit helps your team. Once again, looks like they're going out of order. But I guess Froyotech can use that to their advantage, as they're going to save the Cow Mingler again. The big earner is saved out of DK, and we're going to go now into the second ban wave here. So you can see that DK is worried about their spy, trying to protect Vipa. And I'm kind of curious, because if we go into a third map, I wouldn't be shocked if Froyotech goes for a Cloak and Dagger, like they go all spy for the first 3 bans. If Vipa has any sort of difference, if they put this into a third map, I think Froyotech will come out Deadbringer, Cloak and Dagger, big earner, not even mess around, just go straight for the spy's throat out the gate, because that seems to be the thing that they're scared against. And the thing is, though, is that even once these bans happen, they just weaken classes. We still see a lot of the classes coming out despite these bans. It just forces players to have to play in different ways. It forces them to have to think about it a little bit differently. But, you know, again, I think we're going to probably see DK ban Criticola here in the final 2. I'm trying to think, what else do you think, you know, coming out here in these final bans, do you think DK or Froyotech's gonna bring out here with the final 4?
Yeah, it would be pretty foolish for DK not to go ahead and ban Criticola, in my opinion. And there it is. So it's going to be out of the question. Smart move. I think Froyo, I think they're having a little fun saving the Cow Mangler. I think it would have been smarter to save the Criticola while you had the chance, as Froyo come through again with the Girardi ban. So no Machina, no Girardi. I mean, Boar still went off, but it's the difference between, okay, he has a huge game or he has an absolute game changer. You know, is he gonna get 30 frags or is he gonna get 45? Is the difference between banning the Machina and the Girardi.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make that. I think Froyotech overestimates the value of Girardi, especially in this game mode. Especially, you know, in Product I can get it because you're close quarters, there's not a lot of space. But inside of Upward, you're generally spread out. You only are usually having 2-3 players around each other. I don't think Girardi would make nearly as big of a difference. And when is your sniper going to be at the front line to be able to use it? Maybe for the very final point. You know, I don't think Girardi is necessarily that big of a pick or that big of a ban coming in here. For this final one here, it's going to be very curious to see what they want to ban. I'm trying to think of, like, what would you do? Again, I still think they should go Rescue Ranger. I don't think they should give Eric that utility. DK has shown time and time again they don't run Engineer. So ban anything Engineer related. Go for the classes that you don't play. It's kind of the same way that we see Froyotech not running Spy, so they go heavily after the Spy class. But I say that, then again, Eric ran Spy most of the time last game, so maybe they're kind of changing their tune a little bit, or maybe that was just for the Koth, as we see the Atomizer coming out again, focusing down Banny.
And then the Diamondback getting banned, I don't think that would have seen too much use. I feel like the Ambassador would have been a better ban. I see, and this is kind of a mindset thing, and maybe this is just me. I feel like they could have had a chance to use the Diamondback if the Ambassador was banned, but that's just not on these players' radars. I don't think Vipa ever thinks like, oh, now I can use the Diamondback, because he's so used to not using it. So I think you could have gone with the Ambi ban and kind of bet on the fact that Diamondback wouldn't have come out. But now that the Diamondback is banned, we're 100% going to see Ambassador, or depending, he could run L'Etranger if he wants to just spam behind for extra cloak every once in a while. But that's my personal opinion. Clearly, they feel very strongly about the Diamondback, and we'll see if that comes to bite them.
You know, my prediction, last time I said that I thought DK had the better ban wave, and I thought they would do better. And they honestly, DK looked very strong on Product. Obviously not strong enough to take away the win, but they should have had that last round. You know, it seemed like they started, just on that third round, they started to gel. They're starting to figure out how to play against the best team in the world. And right now, you know, we can kind of put this a little bit in line, guys. Again, this is rgl.gg. This is pick, ban, pro laner. There is no set whitelist. It's done before each map, meaning that every map is going to be a little bit different in the classes that you see, in the classes, and what weapons they ultimately use. It's 7v7 with one of each class. You're going to see a majority of the classes being played at any time, but not every single one, which means teams have that ability to flex and mix it up, and you have less players, so each pick you get makes it just that much more important. Now, one thing, as you see here, is we're going to be playing Payload, and Payload is a map that's all about the objective, and that's one thing that we've seen Froyotech mess up on. They actually dropped around against the bottom team on Upward because he just kept forgetting to push the cart. Banny on Scout, he needs to know to push the cart. Like, as much as frags are great, you need to have someone dedicated to push the cart. And so we'll see if that's going to hurt them. As we are readied up, we are going to be going here live. Froyotech is going to start out here on blue. On red, it is going to be DK. And it's going to be no engineer on DK's side, which is typical of them. But the biggest thing that you miss when you don't have an engineer besides the gun is you don't have a teleport. You have no ability to sustain a first hold because of that 10 to 15 second walk time. If you ever lose 1 to 2 players, it really becomes a very easy point to push.
Well, as long as the Mercy uses res, I think you'll probably be. Oh, sorry,
wrong game.
Yeah, gotta switch it up. Yeah, I mean that it's really important. The teleporter, we often say it all the time. If you get a sap on the teleporter, you extend that respawn timer by an extra 10 to 15 seconds. So, I mean, they felt comfortable. They look good without it, but I don't think they've also played a team the caliber of Froyotech with it in their most recent surge. They beat Cat Noises, but this is a completely different team, a stronger team, and a team that's not going to let you get away with as much.
We'll see what they can get away with here, as it's going to be Eric on the Pyro class. Interesting choice coming out here on offense. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to use that. The reserve shooter was not banned, so he will be allowed to use that, which is typically banned in most leagues. As Boar gets taken out by Slemnish here early on, they're just going to go for an early Uber trade, and this is going to be very good for Froyotech. No sentry gun up, no teleporter up. The cart's pretty far back, but I mean, if they get one more frag, they'll be able to aggress off of this. But oh, Vipa! Nice frag taking down Blaze. That's one flank pick, and using that Cloak and Dagger to keep himself at the front lines.
Yeah, and a good pick on Boar. I mean, I wish Slemnish was a little bit more aggressive while Boar was down. It looks like he is starting to get a little bit of a peak. Doesn't connect with a shot right there. So DK is still feeling pretty comfortable. Slemnish is back, peeking aggressively. Boar's going to take down Yams. He's going to take down Banny as well. So 2 frags. Boar's already being a nuisance. Jumping in, though. Blaze gets a couple rockets down, but he's not going to connect to take down Skis. He's going to grab that pack. So it's like nothing ever happened.
Well, nothing ever happened when Shade gets taken down again, but Skis the Pyro going straight in onto the medic. He's going to get him down so incredibly low. He would have got the force off on Skis if he waited a half second longer, because Skis is at such low health. But because he's only at 99%, this is going to give the advantage here back to DK. So maybe I'm eating crow right now as they continue to hold on to this point, but it's on the back of Boar, who's doing such a good job. They also have the Uber advantage. It's going to be curious to see how Froyotech wants to push this. If they want to get aggressive, maybe go for a suicide wave, anything like that. As Banny pushing straight in onto Carl, he's going to pick up the frag. The ultimately trades down the life. Uber charge comes out onto Jared as skis went down incredibly low. And they are going to suicide themselves in here. They're going to get taken out. There's no way. They're going to get out. They're not going to be punished for that push.
It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, they're coming up on Uber now, Froyotech is, so maybe they just wanted to make sure they kept the players alive, didn't want to risk anything. So hopefully they should be able to grab it off of this push. Got to be careful. There's sticks on the cart there, Banny. You can't go down right now. Your team needs you. They're kind of jockeying for some position to get in. They're actually going to go to the backside. Use in. Habib's going to take down Shamu, take out Boar before going down. There's actually essentially a Vipa switch to Engineer. Not a bad idea, but he is going to get taken out. So now it's kind of an interesting position. Eric's on Spy, calming for his team. DK are going to have an Uber advantage, but their Engineer isn't going to be up for a few more seconds. So what do? Do you play a little bit more passively? No, they want to just be up here on this cliff as the rest of their team spawns.
Yeah, and Eric is going to get caught out there trying to make a play, but they're going to try to aggress. Up here as Jared goes down, Skis is now completely alone, but he does have 100% now connecting back up with Marmaloo inside of Z. He's going to get forced out here, and they're going to try to aggress. They need to grab Shimbu into this Uber charge, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Shade gets popped up. Beautiful rockets coming out of Marmaloo, taking down Shade, and they're going to hold onto this cliffside continually as Vipa now back up onto the Spy class. No more Engineer. Blaze onto the mech. Skis getting pushed off. Banny's going to try to follow up this frag, but the support, I can't speak. And Banny can't frag as he has too many players in his face to protect Skis, keeping him alive, and a nice 30% advantage here for DK. And this is what DK is known for in UGC. This is one of the holds that they helped pioneer inside of Highlander. It's incredibly hard to take down when they're controlling this, and they are setting a very good time right now against Froyotech.
Gotta be careful though. You know, if Froyo figure this out and they're playing so aggressively, they could get second and a little bit more off of that. So Froyo still are in this. They just have to play smart. We'll see. They're starting to push forward now. A pick onto Blaze is going to go in DK's favor. Boar is going to get spammed out a little bit. Eric maybe with a chance at this point to take out Boar. He is. Oh, that's Slimnish, actually. Slimnish is going to get the shot. So now 2 people down for... 3 people down for the DK side. And I think Froyotech should be able to get this in just a bit. Oh, Slimnish! Slimnish gets the shot onto Skis. I think that was a drop, actually. And,
it was.
Oh, great pick by him there. And Froyo, come on. Where's everybody? Get the cart.
They dead, man. They dead. They all died. Dead. Carl and Shamu on the backside picked up a couple of frags. Only Blaze was left alive, and Shade decided to run away to make sure he doesn't get forced off there. As he is onto 100%, look at Boar right now. He has Shade in his sights. He's going for the snipe. He wants to get it. He knows Shade is on that cliffside, but he's going to opt to just back up. DK very passive right now. Blaze is going to jump in straight for Boar. Gets a nice rocket onto him. He's going to be able to finish him off more than likely. Uber charge is out for Froyotech. They got to make sure Skis gets out alive here. He's already back onto the 3rd point with Shamu, getting an arrow onto Marmaloo. The cart's going to go down in the favor of Froyotech as Vipa gets caught out there. Maybe shouldn't have gone for a play in that situation. Got to be careful. And Eric back on to the Pyro class once again, off of Spy. So doing a lot of class switching out of him, but he hasn't done too much with the Pyro class. Marmaloo dropping down, has to be careful. It's very important you keep your soldier alive on this point because he can do so much work if he keeps himself alive.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes to take the first 2 point, not where you want to be. Boar's going to get the shot onto Slimnish to take him out. We see the Sandman actually getting Habib, stunning him for a bit. I mean, Froyotech really need to pick things up. They can't afford to stall for much longer because DK absolutely have all the complete ability to go through and just trash an offensive round and just go and blaze through with 5-minute time. So it's really up to Froyotech right now. They have to figure out their opening. I mean, they have 100% Uber, but no one's in a position at the moment to get a pick. Besides now Slimnish, who's peeking down in the main side.
The big thing is that when this Uber charge gets pushed out, you need to get people on top of the cart. You can't just try to chase frags here. You need to get cart presence, and right now, they're trying to get it, but Jared's doing a good job spamming back. Here comes in the Uber charge. Yes, it finally does come out. Froyotech is pushing in here, but Vipa, who switched off a spy onto the Pyro, air blasting them back as the cart's being focused at the same time. But Jarrett sees this, pushes them back. It's getting rolled back down the hill. Benny gets back onto the cart. They are going to get it up the first slip, which is the hardest one to get it off of. And they're doing a good job splitting focus. Benny going down to Clay Low gets taken out as Blaze is going to try to pick up a frag, and he does just that, taking down Vipa. So no Pyro. Marmaloo's jumping in onto the combo, gets down one. He's going to try to chase down Shade, but he's had too much protection around him, as now it's just Carl and the medic alive here to try to defend this, and DK got way too separated, way too many 1v1 fights. That's when you're going to lose against Froyotech. They just have too much DM. You're not going to win those 1v1 battles. You need to stay coordinated, and that's what lost him this point, but still a very good time being set by DK, as it should be about 7 minutes for the first 3 point, which is about average, which honestly, average is good when you're going up against an opponent like Froyotech. Yeah,
they've got to be pretty happy up until this point, especially now. The tiles hold up here in the last point can be so strong. It's gonna be. I wish personally that there was an engineer that can over maybe the Pyro or even the soldier. I don't know exactly who you'd get rid of. But the Uber is going to be used. Good job, Vipa, denying the Uber, keeping him back. There is nothing that they can do. Froyotech, that is. Yams is going to get taken out. So a great denial of the Uber, and maybe Vipa's making me eat my words, but Boar is going to go down as well as Shamu. Eric and Banny combining for a couple of frags. Vipa as well. Blaze is going to trade him out, but Marmaloo from behind takes out Shade before going down. So I mean, DK have lost a lot of players, but now Froyotech down a medic.
Yeah, we'll see what they can rest off of this, having the numbers advantage. They're trying to push on the backside. Actually, Eric is onto the enemy combo. He's going to gun down, and now Skis is completely alone against the spy. He's going to see if he can get a saw onto him. He's going to get the frag using the sound ball. Now he's going for shot. What? Somehow he stays alive, finally gets taken out. Oh. Fanny is the one to frag completed.
Vipa. He came in from behind, just walked through lower, air blasted him up, and then reserve shootered him down. That is a weapon I don't think Froyo was expecting, and that's gotta hurt in the worst way.
This is absolute chaos going on to this final point, but Froyotech is not able to use this chaos in their favor. Bork getting a nice body shot onto Banny right there, and Froyotech's trying to work themselves into this lower side, but they could take control of tiles, which is the upper area. Take the high ground, working in slowly as DK is giving that up to them. Currently holding underneath balcony right now. Yams is trying to aggress in. He's going 1v1 against the Demoman now. Finally, Carl's able to reconnect back up, help them out, but now, oh no! Slemnish, beautiful headshot, takes him down. Jarrett and as well as Carl are incredibly low. Carl going down there, and now it's only 4 players left alive here for the defense. Shimu at least does pick up one, but now into a 1v1 against Banny. Ultimately goes down for his life, and now it's just 2 left alive. Jarrett's going to pick up a frag. He's going to go down there with Habib on the backside. Banny onto the cart, and now it's just 2 to defend this. Boar trying to get every headshot he can. No Girardi here to be able to try to defend this. Skis is putting out some arrows, but it's not going to be enough as the cart goes down. 9 minutes and 30 seconds. DK has to be happy about that.
Oh, hell yeah. They've got to be ecstatic. 9.5 minutes. I mean, even for Highlander, which seems to have a little bit slower times than Prolander, 9:30 is like, it was okay, but it's not great. So the fact that you normally see faster times in this game mode, that's pretty weak by Froyo, especially with the fact that there was only an engineer for what, all of 2 minutes of that as well. So DK are licking their chops. They absolutely have the firepower to come through and beat this time. So I mean, it's definitely nothing's guaranteed. You know, we don't have like a 15-minute time or anything like that. But very, very doable, even with a few mistakes DK can afford.
Yeah, no, I think it is something that I think they're going to regret not running Engineer as much, particularly on that final point, because the thing is that an Engineer creates a second point that you have to deal with. You know, if you take down a medic, you still have to take down the Engineer. Like, you have to split push anything you do, and we'll see if Eric can prove me right or wrong on that front. As the gates are coming down, DK now on the blue side, we'll see what they want to do, as this is a best of 3, so we still have another round of this at the minimum to play as we continue on the night here.
Yeah, so let's see. Marmaloo trying to get into a position, bullying Banny back. Vipa is actually in a position behind the gun as well, calming to his team. waiting for a moment that he can strike onto Eric. Banny's gonna go down. Vipa's gonna get the stab and the sap on the gun. Forcing the Uber is Marmaloo. And now the rest of DK can just wait for a second, get their respawns, and they should be able to take this first point with ease. At least, hopefully, if all goes according to plan.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty classic push right now. Shamu also is a very intelligent scout. He understands when to get on the card, when to push, when to do different stuff. We saw it during the cat noise this game. He single-handedly got points after DK lost fights. You can see Marmaloo's getting behind him, gets that rocket onto the enemy medic, and now Vipa, oh, he whiffs! He has a beautiful chance to get a stab here. Jarrett getting a very aggressive right now, but he's completely disconnected from his team.
Slimnish hit the headshot! He hit the shot onto Skis to take him out! And DK have nothing now! They have nothing to show for it with the drop. Slimnish is so clutch.
I don't know what DK was doing there. All they needed to do was just exchange. You know they have a sniper. You know it's Slimnish. Just pop early. Get in there. Take the fight. You have invulnerability. They don't. It doesn't matter if it's for 5 seconds instead of 7. Just go for it. Slimnish does go down. Vipa does open that up, so they don't have to worry about their heads being cut off, but this is what they do have to worry about as down goes the medic, the Uber charge. Froyotech, clinical push coming out there, taking down the medic. Going to make that Uber charge come out even here. And Vipa, again, fails stabbing. A second time round, he has had a chance at a back, and he's just whiffed it. They need to step up here if they're going to have a chance this round. They still have plenty of time to push this, but 2 bad early fights coming out of DK.
Yeah, and that last one is really a problem. Shamu is going to go down, as does Jarrett, so Marmaloo's going to take one back into their favor, so it's a 6v5. They have a chance, especially with those close respawns. So Marmaloo is on cart. Blaze trying to go in for something, but gets denied by Carl over there. So, I mean, Froyotech doing a good job. They're trying not to bleed any numbers. Banny comes in and is going to take down Skis. So, Skis just really struggling to stay alive so far in this one. But luckily, they are going to finally take point. Catch Shade off guard. So he's going to have nothing as well. Habib, the sole survivor of Froyotech, and this could be a problem. If they're fast enough on this cart, they might even be able to take second off of this.
They should take second off this. Shade is still down. 40% advantage. They control Hill. There is zero reason DK shouldn't get this off their first push. They're going to need a miracle. Froyotech, they need to get a headshot. Anything.
Froyo's in.
Banny is already taken out. Froyo's trying to re-aggress. His Blaze is jumping into double window, but he's going to run into a fully revved up heavy. Ooh, Carl's going to take down that fight, and they don't need to use Ubercharge here. They're just going to take this completely for free. This is transitions is what the name of the game is when it comes to defense. Froyotech should have sensed they were losing. They needed to back out earlier. Jarrett's running all the way back, but I don't know what that's for because you can't force off Shade. You would have had to get a frag there, but he wasn't going to do that alone at his HP. You know, Sen could put on too long of a respawn there, but I guess it's not the end of the world given the fact that they still have a long ways to push this cart before they can do anything. The biggest thing is they don't want to use their Uber too early. You want to get this cart forward, you want to get it into position, and that's when you go for a trade in Ubers. If you go too early, you waste the Uber charge. Uber charges are used to push the cart, and using it right now is not going to be a good idea.
Yeah, especially Shade is on 100% as well, so they haven't even felt any pressure to use. Luckily for them, Skis is going to be all the way out, and Froyotech haven't used the Uber, but it looks like Banny is calling to get aggressive. Shade is all the way out on that side. Banny's on the cart now. They've got a ton of frags. Only 3 players remaining for DK. Skis is all the way out. He's got to keep running. Banny smells blood in the water, and he is chasing as far as he can go. But, he's gonna smartly back off. Skis stays alive, which is quite a turn of events.
I mean, that's just I'm talking about. It's like they just didn't need to use their Uber charge here. Shamu is trying to sneak up this cart, uncontested. Finally, it is going to be focused a little bit by Habib. He goes down, eats a lot of damage there, but actually they have 2 frags. No Slimnish, no Banny. So they can try to work off this. Froyotech wants to use this Uber charge aggressively. The Blaze ate a lot of damage there. Nice arrow from Shade to give him back alive. Both mechs now back up to 100%. The cart's starting to work itself forward. We need it. This is when you want to see the exchange. This is exactly the point. As it's going to work this cart up, Yams is going to try to defend it, but he can't. It's going to be a trade out here, but they got it up the first cart path, and that's exactly what you want to see. Marmaloo is also getting himself into position, but actually Habib saw it. He's going to go for a bomb and takes down Slimnish. I think that's a worthwhile trade, as Slimnish is going to be on a much longer respawn wave. And now they have to worry is Bork is going to have free reign to shoot anything he wants. Eric is also onto the Pyro class, so they don't have any other pick classes to try to help them out. So Boar is going to have, he can have anything he wants right now, unless Banny goes straight into him, does just that. And right now, DK's not in a bad spot. Froyotech's playing a little bit passively, but not too badly, as they're actually no, they're trying to regress right now.
Oh, Vipa was so close to that stab on Shade, but he gets sussed out at the exact, just before he was gonna get that stab. So good job keeping eyes in the back of your head for Froyotech. That card is gonna start rolling backwards now, so Shamu is gonna have to find a way to get over to it. I think Banny might sense something is up because he's playing along the cart path. You can't let it get so far that it starts rolling down that first hill, though. Banny's aggressive on the catwalk, gets in, gonna take down Marmalou, but Boar's gonna get the shot onto Beeb, and Slemnish is gonna go down as well. Ubers have been used, but there is no positioning for the DK side, so Froyotech really coming out with the better of that Uber as Eric goes in, WM1 onto Jarrett.
Look at Shamu. He got it up that second cart path all the way. And now there's only 3 players left alive. They got the frag. Shamu pushed the cart. And they're going to be able to take down this and have 3 minutes to work into the final point, which is plenty of time. They're about even Ubers. And also the engineer, short circuit wasn't banned. And so now we're seeing that happen here on the offense as Vipa off of Spy, now in a short circuit engineer. Honestly, I'm kind of curious if engineer would be... Actually, no, they're not running engineer on defense. Eric's still on Pyro, so yeah, maybe short circuit just to try to counter off Habib.
Yeah, it's not a bad move. It's interesting. I didn't know. I mean, Habib obviously doing a lot, but not enough to go full counter onto him. But also, I mean, you can stop Blaze with that. Shamu is gonna go down. Eric still in a respawn. Boar gets a shot onto Slemnish. That's gonna open things up for them. Up in tiles right now are Froyo. Marmalou being denied by Yomps. 100% for either meta coming up right now. So we'll see how they want to do this. Uber being used early, but oh no! Shade drops his pocket.
Yeah, Carl getting a nice 2 frags there. Shade wasn't able to get his charge off in time to save them. And now Jarrett's going to have this out, but he needs to reconnect back up with other players. He can't let Marmalou die here. Jarrett's going to go down. Skis is going to go down as well, probably. They're both so incredibly low. Below 10 HP, both of them are, but Skis is the one who's going to go down from Slemnish. Just a little bit mistimed. The aggression out of DK just a little bit too much. They need to slow down these pushes. Carl got what he needed there. You have 100% Uber charge. Just slow it down. Use your numbers. Play positioning. Do what you need to do in those situations to get that push off. They're trying to go in too aggressively without numbers, and it's working against them. 1:30 left on the clock. Plenty of time here, but DK, plenty of missteps to match it.
Yeah, Slemnish gonna finally go down. He hits a 6th shot onto Jarrett before Boar finally trades him out. Slemnish is having a huge game for Froyo right now. We got 1:10 on the clock, so this one's gonna come right down to the wire. Vipa gets a stab onto Yomps. He's still alive to cause a little bit more wreak a little bit more havoc. So he's I'm gonna keep an eye on him to see if he gets in position. He's gonna get stabbed onto Slemnish now. So hopefully Boar is going to be able to get into a position to do something. Carl's going to be up in tiles as he meets Habib, but goes down. And the cart is moving forward, but Uber is being used by Froyo. Skis was on 99.
Oh my goodness. Absolute travesty. That was their push. If they were able to keep Skis alive there, they probably would have been able to hold on to this. Shamu's going to go down as well. Vaccinator coming up. With Skis coming back alive, 23 seconds left on the clock. They need a miracle right now. They need to get ×3 onto the cart. If Carl got the frag onto Habib, if there's just a couple frags that went better, they might have been able to do this. 10 seconds. Vipa, they need something on the cart. They need to go for it. They need to do something, but they're not. They're going to get the Ubercharge popped off onto them, and this first round is going to go in the favor of Froyotech as they just barely hold on to this first round.
Oh, it was so close. It really, really was. I mean, DK, all that needed to happen was just one of those fights on first, on third, because second was a breeze. Well, it needed to go their way, and they would have had that. It's just, I feel like that's the story for them right now. You get so close, but then Froyotech Slemnish comes up big with clutch picks. Banny just consistently outputting damage for his team. There's just so much on their team that you have to worry about that. Yeah, okay, you have a 7v6 advantage, but oh yeah, never mind. Slemnish is still up, so now it's a 6v4 or something like that. It's just that's just wild. Froyotech have so much firepower on their team.
Yeah, and opening up these frags right now, these logs, Banny top fragging for his team with 30, Boar right behind him with 26, Habib and Slamish behind them at 21 and 22 respectively. Carl not being a slouch. The heavy is, I mean, if you look at the classes which are stepping up, it's Habib going huge compared to Jarrett in terms of damage, about 2,000 more damage, and then Yamps is being outfragged by Carl. So they're kind of reversing. The heavy for DK is doing better than, but the demo man for Froyotech is just doing that much more. I don't know. I mean, this is crazy. This is so fast. Honestly, I think DK, the biggest thing they need to do is just have more patience for their pushes, as I believe we're going to be live going full time. But what are you seeing in these logs here as we are getting readied up for this next round?
I mean, the fact that Banny was able to grab 30 frags is just, I don't know. That's just putting his team on his back. He got 13% heals, which is a modest amount. I mean, it's a good chunk, but 30 frags off of that is just insane. Slemnish really going toe to toe with Boar. I know Boar comes out with the better frags and DPM, but Slemnish had those clutch picks that really kept his team in the game on that defense, and that really went a long way. I wonder actually. Yeah, he actually outfragged Boar in that second half, so it just goes to show Slemnish recognized that and needed to step up. Medic Death, Skis only dies 3 more times than Shade, but it really did feel like Skis was that a lot more than that, but we are going live here on the next half.
And this is the second half. It's Froyotech's choice about which side they want to push from, or which side they want to play starting out, and Froyotech, as they have done all season long, they always want to push first. They always want to set the time. But given that last time, I don't know. I think DK could potentially be buoyed if they get another 9:30 time. But we'll see what they can do. If Froyotech, I mean, it's really going to be which team is going to learn more from the last round. Is DK going to learn how to push better when it comes to the offense? Or is Froyotech going to figure out how to break these holds a little bit faster? Right now, if we look at the terms of classes, again, no engineer being run from either team. Eric is running a Pyro and for Froyotech, and DK is running Spy. So pretty good. Seeing a majority of classes coming out here, but I think it's kind of surprising that the one map you think you would see engineer on is, you know, a payload map, and that's the one map we're not seeing him really come out here. But I suppose with the bans that were levied against him, ultimately going to work a little bit against, but here we go. Gates are coming down. Froyotech is going to roll out. We'll see what they want to do. Last time they went out with an early, you know, trade of Uber charge, but Banny gets taken out here early on, so that might slow them down, not being able to bring a scout in on the Uber.
Yeah, they really like to take Banny, and that cart's just moving forward. Blaze is actually on Pain Train. He had that times too, but Boar is going to take him out. I like the move for Pain Train because it affords Banny a little bit more room to roam and really put out damage. Vipa is in a position where he might be able to get something onto Slemnish, but the Uber is being used earlier, much earlier than Froyotech. So now the rest of this Uber, DK can just sit back and make sure they keep their players alive. But Habib, a couple stickies behind Jarrett, is going to take him out as he backs out, and another frag for him. Carl is going to go down. Boar gets picked up by Blaze, and Skis too far in, too long, and a much better first cap for Froyotech, and they look pretty good, hopefully, to grab second, as those respawns still have another 5 seconds for DK.
Yeah, they're going to have a chance to potentially defend this if they get out early enough, but a lot of players are currently up onto the cliffside, so it's going to be tough for them to push against this, especially when Slemnish is already set up. Boar does spot him, trying to get that headshot against him. Jarrett's now in his sights. Got to be careful not to get a headshot onto him as he's completely in the sideline of Slemnish, but he's getting a lot of stickies down underneath him. Boar does pick up the headshot onto the sniper, so that's going to allow Boar to peek it out a lot more. He also doesn't have a spy to worry about to backstab. Shade goes down incredibly low. That's a nice force. Oh, Shade off the cliff. Beautiful, beautiful coming out of Jarrett right there. Pushing him off. Those stickies doing work. DK should be able to re-aggress this if they want to. Get out there as they're continuing to just pick up frags right now.
I think you have to ask again, if you die during an Uber, is that still a drop? I don't know. I mean, that's just... That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's some form of a drop.
Oh, so I mean, this really does give DK a chance now to hold second. They've got 100% on the Uber. They've got all 7 players that are aggressive back on onto Froyo's side of the cliff. So they've got to be feeling pretty good now. And they can just sit back and wait for Froyo to do something. You don't need to play, play aggressively. Just play reactionary. Go where Froyo are scripting they're gonna go, and just block them.
Well, and the thing is Vipa also has a Cloak and Dagger in this map, so he can give complete intel to his team about what the enemy team's doing. You can see he's sitting back completely. He's starting to get himself. He's going to go. He's getting in position right now. The Uber charge does come out, and he goes for the stab, but Habib sees him, turns around. Froyotech once again showing themselves to be very good, have very good spy awareness. But 100% now coming up in the favor of Shade. Froyotech's going to try to work themselves in here. Boar trying to go for a Miracle Snipe onto Shade. Not able to find it. Shade still holding on to this, not being forced off. Finally, they do pop off, and Skis is getting pushed so far back here, but will at least escape with his life. Jarrett going a little bit too early with his bomb in onto Skis, because Shade was still having the Uber charge on top of him. Carl's going to go down, but not a bad defense on the second point, as plus they're getting Skis out alive, so they're going to have a chance to hold third. Assuming Skis gets out. No, he's caught in spawn.
He's gonna back spawn, I'm assuming. Yeah. So he does.
Oh, they hold on to it. I didn't realize you can do that.
Yeah. If you back spawn, you'll keep your Uber. But Froyo are very aggressive right now. Vipa is gonna go down along with his gun. I don't know why he had it so aggressively. I think you had plenty of time to make sure you set it up in a nice spot. You know, just a little bit more passive. I believe we did have the Wrangler banned, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Wrangler is banned, yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, but still, you want a more passive spot, especially if you know that you're not going to be able to decrease the amount of damage it's taken. But either way, I mean, DK are still in a good position. That cart's not going anywhere at the moment, and they want to lead in with the Uber, leading with Banny, now flashing Habib. There's nothing, though, that Froyotech can do. Vipa, good job air blasting everything back, but now...
Oh, no.
Yeah, Skis uses Uber, but he loses Marmaloo, loses Shamu. But Boar gets a shot onto Shade. Maybe a saving grace? I don't think so, because it's just Jarrett and Skis, and now Skis is gone.
Wipe coming out from Froyotech. Beautiful job there. It's only Yamps moving the car right now, but the biggest mistake DK out of there, they wanted to milk. They wanted to milk. But you got to be mad to hold it on for that long. If they just would have popped the Uber onto the Pyro, onto Vipa, they would have held that point right there. That alone would have won it. DK, they're just, like, it's the little details that are losing them this game right now. Because if they would have, just think about this, having a full charged Pyro in the face of the enemy team when they don't have Uber charge and no Pyro to defend you, he would have just been able to WM1 into the enemy team unstopped, would have done crazy amounts of damage. But instead, they lose this point. 4 minutes and 55 seconds. This is a fast time, but something, if DK can get anything onto his final point, it will be something they can hold, and still will give themselves a chance. But Froyotech's looking pretty decent right now, though. Blaze does go down early here. 1-player advantage currently in the favor of Froyotech, as they also control the upper, doing a much better job this time of using the high ground to their advantage. Though they do trade off. Marmaloo takes down Slemnish, no sniper, but Yams takes him down in the process. 100% coming up right now for the offense.
I'm really looking at Boar right now. He's got to come up huge. He took out Banny. If he can just snag one more clutch shot, especially, I mean, you have a good sight line into that upper area. Blaze is going to go down. Uber's being used from lower, leading forward with Habib, but he ignores the gun, goes for Skis. Skis is dancing around. I've seen him drop like this before. Okay, good. He is going to use the Uber, and now they want to get aggressive and see if they can take anyone out, but Jarrett and Carl, very far removed. They are going to get cleaned up. I don't know. It seems like every Uber, Skis is alone. I don't know if Skis just is not getting with his combo, if people are just getting too aggressive without him, but there's some disconnect right now. Every time they use an Uber, people are getting dropped.
Well, the thing, too, is that when you had that sentry gun up, because they didn't focus that down, it allowed to help them. Once that Uber was over, they really need to take out this this gun before the gun comes up. Maybe you have Blaze switch out to the direct hit to make sure that gets taken out. It's a very easy gun to take out from a long range. Habib's the only one who's currently focusing right now. Even just getting a Slemnish full body charge shot onto it, but he's currently trying to get a shot onto Skis, who's currently completely in his sightline. They're playing so passively. The gun goes down finally, but the frags are in the favor of DK currently. It is a 7v4 fight, and they might try to get positioning out of this situation, maybe. But no, they're going to hold passively again. Gun goes back into the upper area. Vipa, that's a little bit further back than where it should be. Not as going to have as much angles. He's going to actually move it over to the balcony side, and Froyotech's getting ready for a push.
Yeah, they're coming through lower again, but Habib is stuffed. They use the Uber. I got to imagine they're trying to chase, see if there's anything they can grab. It's just Blaze. But now Froyo have 100% Uber. Shamu with another pick takes out Slimnish. Banny is going to take down both Jarrett and Skis with his Uber, but there's still a sentry gun up. If Vipa can get to it in time, he should be able to continue keeping it alive. He's going to pull it back. Boar with 2 shots, one onto Shade, one onto Habib. And they're going to keep this gravy train rolling. DK on this defense look really good. Much better than we've seen from them throughout these first 3 points. They've got the respawns coming. Carl, the latest casualty, on a 10-second respawn. But Froyotech have not found the winning combination so far in the second round last push.
I'm telling you, it's the engineer. It's really the sentry gun that's doing absolute work. They cannot just push the cart because they have to worry about it. And, you know, right now, Eric on the Pyro class is doing nothing. He's just using the detonator to try to snipe it from a long distance. I'm assuming he's going to switch up to the Spy class now that he's dead. Froyotech, again, is taking the upper area. Blaze is still using the original, so nothing doing it as he loses a 1v1 against the Scout. Shamu stepping up for his team, gets a 4K right there, helping him out. And both mechs on about an 80%, but DK very strong right now. Cart's even rolling backwards. It hasn't been touched in so long. And this is looking very good for DK as Slimnish is getting himself off. Shake gets forced. Jarrett with beautiful stickies into the upper area. And a nice defense. DK does not milk this too long now. They make sure to keep all their players alive. And this is a great hold coming out of DK.
Yeah, they use the Uber this time. They keep people alive, though, which is a marketed improvement. Slimnish and Banny are down at the moment for Froyo, as well as Eric. Eric now on Engineer, which is an interesting move, maybe just for the teleporter, or maybe try to get like a kind of an edgy sentry up. Sorry, not Carl. Boar is going to get the headshot onto Habib as Carl does go down, and Banny gets traded out as well. There is four frags going back and forth. And this does favor Froyotech if they can just get in, but the final gatekeeper right now is going to be Jarrett and that gun. So they're just going to keep pushing back. They've got the Uber. They're going to have advantage. I don't know if they're aware of that. As Bork gets a beep again, there's going to be no one to get the sentry gun as the Uber is used.
Yeah, Skis is only at 90% right now. He's just going to get it back up, but they didn't lose any players besides Vipa, the engineer. And here we go. They're going to try to re-aggress out there, and Blaze is going to go down. The sentry gun is level 1 inside of it, and it's from the offense. That's going to get taken out. Banny is trying to get on the cart, but he's completely alone. He should ultimately get traded off there. But now Habib trying to get some damage down. He goes down ultimately. Nice shot there from Boar. Skis, though, down incredibly low. Just needs a body shot, basically, to take him out as Blaze is above, using the direct hit, trying to get something onto him. They're really focusing down this gun now. The direct hit is out on of him. Skis goes down. Only 2 players left alive. As it's going to be Vipa switching out, and we hit the first pause of
I can't
the
believe
match.
Slimnish hit that shot. I mean, Skis was trying to walk out, and Slimnish just walked downstairs like, all right, you're trying to leave? Well, I'm going to get that headshot. As we come out of the pause, and Froyotech are not going to be denied. They do finally want to take this cart, and they do. 10-26, though.
Wow. And that means that final hold was 5.5 minutes long. And really, I do think, like, what's the biggest difference between the other points? And, like, that point, like, the third point, Engineer's not that good. The second point, Engineer's not that good. It's the first and fourth point on this map where Engineer really shines. And Froyotech just did not seem to have an answer for it. At the very, very end is when we saw the direct hit come out to try to deal with it. But I think it was a little bit too late. And given the fact that DK pushed Froyotech all the way back to that final point, and they were only, you know, maybe like 30 seconds off, a minute off from being able to get a capture, this is very possible. We might be going into the third round, going into a decider round, and if DK wins this map, we will go to a third map. It'll be a best of 1 on Badwater. This would be crazy if DK came back from literally being match point out. This is really it. This is match point. Froyotech wins this round. That's it. They win the $1,400. Everything is on the line right now. DK has their backs against the wall, but sometimes that's the best place to fight from. So we'll see what they can do. The gates are going to come down. DK starting out on offense. This is the grand finals. And we'll see what they can do. As Vipa currently out on the Spy class, and Froyotech not running Engineer, but opting for Eric on Pyro. Interesting choice. And he's not using the Reserve Shooter either. He's trying to use the Detonator or the one of the guns to probably get onto board.
Yeah, I really thought Eric had a good... Oh, nice shot by Slimdish. Eric had a good future as an Engineer main, but opts to go for Pyro. He's been brushing up on his tutorials. So, I don't know. I really feel like that would have been the better move, but these guys are better than me, so what do I know? Froyo are cleaning up, especially Slimdish, as he gets his 3rd frag already in the round to take down Carl. Nice job.
Well, the thing here is that even though all those frags happen, it doesn't matter. They got the cart pushed up. Like, obviously, it'd been great if they got picks, but Vipa's in a good position. They have the cart where it needs to be. All they need to do is go for an Uber trade, not drop skis. That's step 1. Just so you know, DK. Just don't drop skis, and they should be able to take this point. Vipa is getting himself into position right now. He's going right behind Slemnish. I wonder if he's going to go for a decloak. Here comes out the Uber charge. They're trying to hold on to it. Vipa does get the step onto the Pyro, but the Uber charge is going to be much better in terms of red. Banny is going to be chasing down skis. Gets him right there. Nice job. That's a body shot with the help of Banny at the same time, though he ultimately goes down. Jarrett's trying to re-aggress, though he should trade his life. He's down so incredibly low, but they're picking up frags. Somehow Carl now alone against Banny. He goes down. And with only 3 players forward, DK with these respawns, I believe they should be able to aggress this right away if they play it correctly. And they also don't have the sniper forward, so Boar gets as much sightline as he wants right now.
Yeah, they've. I think they should get it. I mean, they struggled on their first push in the first round as well, and we're almost there to beat Froyo. So I think there is kind of par for the course for them, but they really need to cap it. Carl is trying his best, putting a lot of damage out. He almost gets it, but Habib denies him at the last second. Marm is down as well. Uber is being used by Froyo. Skis at 75%, but he is backed up at the moment. Got to be careful for Slimnish, however, because he can hit a headshot at any point in time. He just wills it into an existence.
And you can see Vipa with a spy cap. Nobody's nearby. Beautiful job by him getting that, and Froyotech is now going to back up to the next point. They're also down Uber right now. Honestly, it might have been better to leave Shade forward there because I don't think he realized how big of a disadvantage he's at right now. But no! Slimnish, the body shot, the 150, equaling it out, taking him down, and Froyotech is going to use that to try to get aggressive, cleaning up frags. And DK is going to have to reset here. We're curious what Froyotech wants to do. It looks like they want to get even more aggressive, but they really can't hold ahead of the hill. They can't rehold that first point. That'd be insane.
Yeah, I don't think so. It looks like they might opt just for kind of an aggressive play. I was about to comment on Slemnish being so far forward. He had no support. Boar's going to get the easy body shot because he didn't have a buff. Habib takes out Vipa, but now jumping in are DK. They force this Uber out. Now Skis needs to stay alive, please. Please, Skis, just back up. You got nothing to do here. Marm and Carl are going to go down as Jarrett is actually still in. Takes down Shade. Why is Shade that far aggressive?
And speaking of aggressive, Banny all the way back at spawn, and now you only have a couple players left alive. There are going to be a couple respawns. Shamu's on the cart, going to go into a 1v1 against Blaze. He gets the early rocket, takes him down. That's going to slow down this cart from being pushed. Eric continues to play onto the Pyro class. The combo is going into the lower area to help clean it out. And Habib hears this, goes down there, and is going to help clean it up as well. And Marmalu's going to get put down once again. Vipa, I think he just needs to be a little bit more coordinated with his pushes. And, well, never mind. He gets a stab. He gets a stab onto Slemnish. Boris can have a little bit more to work with here. But they have to be careful because they need to clean up Blaze underneath. He's doing so much work in the tunnel area. They need to take him down. And he continues to go on as he picks up one more, going on to a 4K. If they don't clear out Blaze, they're not going to be able to take this point. Never mind. He's leaving the tunnel. And now it's Yamps. Yamps is way behind the enemy team. And Slemnish versus Boar in this 1v1. Going for those second scopes. Who's going to come out on top? But it looks like they're going to get this. But Yamps currently behind the entire enemy team. He's going to go for a play. I don't think they know this. I don't think they know where Yamps is. He's going to go for it right now. But he has no support. Gets easily cleaned up. Froyotech's not there to try to support it. And Vipa's going to miss the backstab on the backside. Second point going down in the favor of DK. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and what prompted that push from DK, Boar got a kill onto Shade, so really opened the doors for them as Slemnish takes down Marmalou. Bandy aggressive takes down Jarrett before going down. So they do have 100% Uber to work with. Skis down to 50 HP. He's backing all the way up to spawn as Shamu tries his best to get the cart into a better position. I mean, you've got about 5 minutes at this point. Shade is going to be so far into his Uber by the time they get people onto the cart and moving forward. I don't know. This is that kind of no man's land where you have the cart. You got to get it aggressive, but you have Uber and you want to use that. But you just got to wait. You got to get that ×3 working if you can. And get that cart up that first ramp.
And they're doing a good job of this. Uber charges are going to be traded out a little bit better in the favor of the offense. Banny is working with Yams on the roller coaster. And here we go. The cart's starting to be pushed up, but Habib's doing a good job of trying to contest it. The frag's currently coming out in the favor of Froyotech because they haven't lost a single person alive. Ski's going down. And only 2 players left up here, and I'm pretty sure they're both respawns. I guess Boar probably stayed alive that whole time. No, Vipa was still alive here. Vipa now into the Engineer class, opting to, I guess, get a Sentry Gun or to get it the teleporter to help his team get forward, use that respawn advantage to his favor. And look at Banny right now. He's completely underneath the enemy team, but Carl, I think he's looking for them. The Sixth Sense Carl, he sees alive people and he makes them dead. Another one going down. Froyotech collapsing around their aggression. You have to be careful on payload because all of them are getting put on such long respawns. They just gave up the 3rd point, trying to hold so aggressively, trying to go for these plays. Now they just completely lost this point.
Oh my god, and Shade, Let's Blaze, and Yamstai. He's got Banny now that he's healing, as well as Eric. Eric goes and surfs onto the card. He is going to end up going down. Shade's got to be careful trying to escape. I think he will. I don't think Boar's in a position to take him out at the moment.
But yeah. Skis goes down on the backside. Banny, not 1, not 2, but 3. Getting 2 actually just alone with the pistol. Banny putting the team on his back this round. What really should have been an easy point to take by DK, now it's going to be that much harder. I think you really need to work Vipa in here. Now that he's on the Engineer class, he can't do any spy caps, can't do anything like that. And what would have then put DK at a good chance to take this final point. Now they have to, again, try to regress this without Uber. Though no Blaze right now. They just need to get onto the card. That's exactly what Shamu's going to do. Lemnis can't snipe him here. They need to actually have Habib try to take him out. Banny's going to come behind him, try to get this. Takes the 1v1. Shamu going down, grabbing the med pack. The cart's rolling back down the hill. Once again, Banny did get taken down. And they might be able to do this. They just need to get that cart. They need to go for that right now. They're not going to win the battle. Slemnish holding them back. Marmalou, though, is a very good spot. He's actually crouch walking, of all things, behind them in the S shack. Shamu getting onto the cart, again getting taken out. And here we go, bombing, going down to Shea, gets the force. But
very
2 minutes
good
left
job.
in the clock. Yeah, I don't know what they can, but they need to get everything else to go correctly.
Carl's in the side house right now. Oh no, he's going to flank heavy, but Shade is too smart. He backs out at the first sign of danger. And now Carl might get caught out by Banny. I don't know. I'm too interested now. The Uber being used by DK. They know they have nothing to worry about on the Froyo side. They're going to get this cart, but they're only going to have 2 minutes to take last. What's in their favor, though, is that 3 players on the Froyo side have a bit before they respawn. So if they can get aggressive and maybe get into that tiles area, they might be able to leverage their way into a really good offensive push.
They also do have about a 20% advantage, which isn't a lot, but I mean, technically go for something off it. Marmalou is right. He didn't see Habib. He could have got him. Habib was down about 100 HP. Shamu's going to go to a 1v1 against Banny underneath of it. If Shamu comes out on top, he doesn't. Banny, once again, showing his superior DM. And actually, that lost them about some of that Ubercharge Shade going for those arrows and whatnot. And so if they actually, DK had everybody alive and forward, they'd be able to go aggressively for this Vipa back onto the Spy class. Here we go, 100% ready to go. They're going to run into him. Shade, only at 70 HP. He goes down incredibly low, able to grab a sandwich, but he's only at 86%. If they can aggress onto him, anything, they might be able to do this. As Skis alone with Carl, Habib still in a high ground. Shade only at 88%, doesn't have anybody to heal right now, but nobody for DK is pushing him. If anybody sees this, they'd be able to go in onto him. He's still yet to heal anybody right now. Carl is trying to go into a 1v1 against Habib into the upper area. The cart's starting to work itself forward, but now he gets reconnected back up. He got bonked. And they're getting some damage down, but the defense should come up for Froyotech. 49 seconds left in the clock as Vipa picks up one more frag.
Oh, this is going to be crucial. Ski's trying to back out. Everyone on Froyotech jumps in. Habib and Banny are there, and they're going to take out Skis, and Shade is going to be able to live as well. I mean, that's just disastrous. The fact that they're able to walk in, take out your medic, and be so aggressive, and barely any damage coming onto Shade during that time. 22 seconds. Whoa, nice shot by Boar, as he just walks up, quick scopes, takes out Shade. We got 15 seconds, sigafoo. This could be it, or we could be on the third map.
This can be it. They need to get onto the card. Eric's going to jump onto it to try to deny. Here comes in the soldier as well. Blaze is defending it. 5 seconds left in the clock. The frags are coming out, and that's going to be it. Froyotech is going to take this as the GGs are out. Take it 2-0 on this map. So incredibly close, but that aggressive play coming out of Froyotech as they win this. And DK, definitely no pushovers, but Froyotech just with their superior DM, winning it out on the day, making a couple missteps, but you know, you can make missteps as long as you can just win out on the DM battle. And congratulations to them as they're going to be taking that first place prize.
Yeah, that was a, I don't know, it's just crazy to see. Froyotech really seemed to, I mean, have a decent handle on their offense. Nothing spectacular, nothing that really blew me away. And you just saw shades from DK like, okay, they've got it here. They've definitely, look, they've prepared for this all their lives, all the grueling hours, the time spent, and then they go in and just like nothing happens during the Uber. So definitely disappointing for them in this match, but can't say that it's a disappointing season for them overall. I mean, taking second place and getting a nice big payout as well for their efforts here this season.
Yeah, just overall, just a good fight between them all. But the big thing is honestly, I'm really curious. Slemnish coming in as a sub today, as Corsa was not going to be able to be here. He played better than Corsa did all season. Currently, he top fragged in that last game, 29 frags. He lit them up. Banny just behind him with 28. Habib going with 26. And then Boar, Mamarlu, Carl filling out the next three. Very close battle between all these teams. Honestly, if this was another day, another time, DK could have done that. DK, I mean, like, if you look at both games, you can't say Froyotech just won this easily. There's no way. Anybody who says that would just be a fool. You would look like an idiot if you said, oh, GG, easy, Froyotech won. Because DK's put up such a good fight here today, coming so close, so time and time again. Easy would have been if Froyotech would have held him on the first point, held him on the second point, even would have done a time better than 9 minutes. Froyotech showed themselves to be fallible, to be mortal here, but it just DK wasn't quite there enough with the coordination because they needed that. They didn't have the DM, so they needed the coordination, and they didn't quite have that here. And so, you know, just overall, just a fantastic game to watch, though. I mean, this is some of the best pro laner that we've seen all season.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, really hats off to DK. They put up a really good fight. Just that coordination from Froyo was just too strong. All those times deciding, okay, we should be aggressive here, and it just worked. It works out because it's just calculated. They know when to get aggressive. They know when they have a chance to get the med. Yeah, maybe a little bit of an overextension every once in a while, but they know that they have the power to get away with that kind of stuff. So all of that aggression works out for them because it's not I don't know, it's not mindless walking forward. It's a plan, and they I don't know, they're just putting the plan into motion, and it works out because they've got the talent to do that.
Yeah, guys, for everybody who's sticking around here, guys, this is the first season. The second season signups of RGL.GG are going to be coming out very soon. Keep tuned to Reddit or whatever you need to do. RGL.GG. We're going to have our second season. It should have a similar or a slightly larger prize pool than the first. We're going to have. We're going to also change up the structure of payments and how much cost to get in. It's going to be even cheaper to get in on the recreational side. And not only that, we're also going to be hosting a free tournament. Again, details about that. The tournament is going to be going live in about 3 weeks to about a month. The league is going to be starting up in about 2 months. So guys, keep tuned to all this stuff. RGL.GG is not going away. We are going to be coming back even stronger next season and going to have even stronger pool of candidates coming in here in the competitive high in what should continue to be great games. If you guys want to try out this format, if you're like interested in playing it, RGL.GG/pugs. We have it's completely free. You can jump in. We host pugs multiple times a week. You just jump in, have some fun, have a good attitude. That's all that we ask, is because RGL.GG is all about that, about having a good experience. We do not want to fall into the trend of having a toxic community. We want to stand against that. We want to be against that. We don't want to just say, just because everybody's toxic, there's other toxic communities, that we should just be like them. That's the poor man's version. That's a cop-out, and that's lazy. If you let your community get to that way, you're a lazy community. You should never let that happen. And we are trying to do the opposite of that. So thank you, everybody, for coming out here, guys. And I hope you guys had a good time. VoxDei, as we are starting to close it out here, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I mean, just big thanks to, I always like to thank the teams, just putting on a great show for us. There's definitely every opportunity to airmail in a game, but they really, DK really showed up here. Froyotech just played at such a high level, so I really appreciate the game they gave us and to the viewers here. Thanks, huge thanks. I know you're probably going to say it, but I'll say it as well, to Nisel on cam, to you, Sigafoo, for having me cast, and all the guys over on RGL doing the moderator and admin work, Yachts and Witness, who've helped out throughout the season, making sure matches go smoothly, everyone else involved. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride on this season, and everyone that plays the pugs gets the word out there. I mean, everyone's a big part of what's made this successful, so just thank you to everyone. Shout out to every person on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to everybody. Nisel, of course. We've been trying to push forward the camera, the style. We don't want to just sit with the old guard. There's a lot of people in the TF2 community who do production and want it to be the exact same way. Never think about how to push the cast forward. Never think about doing any of that. And Nisel has been doing a fantastic job in so many different aspects of working with me, working together, bouncing ideas off, and what we can do to create a better experience to you. If you guys like it, let us know. Go to the YouTube comments section. Do different stuff, about this stuff to let us know, because that feedback helps us understand what people are enjoying and what they're not, especially when we can get constructive. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here tonight. This has been something, when it came out and did the Challenge Cup, that was incredibly trying on me. For as much flack and hate that I got, it was something I've never had to experience before in my life. Having so many people against me for something I was doing for free and for fun, and doing this league has garnered a little bit of it, though not as extreme. And the people out there, the number of positive experiences I've had, the number of thoughtful and amazing TF2 people that I've come across has been simply fantastic. If you haven't already fallen in love with it, like this league has made me fall in love with TF2 again. Playing this game mode, seeing the diversity of classes and items and maps has made me fall in TF2. I love that it's a conversation. It's not just like some players decided that these weapons shouldn't be allowed. We don't want to see these classes inside of our game mode. I like that it's the player's choice at the time of, the player's choice to see what classes they want to see played, and the dynamic and the conversations that happen from that. And so just thank you, everybody, for coming out here and having those conversations with me and talking to me about it. Again, I'm looking forward so much to Season 2. I cannot wait to see what happens and see what the teams have learned from this first one. So thank you, everybody, for coming out here so much. I really cannot explain. We hit 550 people at a peak. Blowing my fucking mind. I mean, seriously, toss a heart out in the chat. Toss a heart out in the chat for fucking Nisel. I got nothing but positivity coming out of me right now. That's a weird statement to say, but it's true. It's seriously, I love you guys so much. I'm going to stop rambling here. Thank you again to Nisel, VoxDei to my side, Rogue again for the season back in the day, Yachts, Witness, Kaz, Fallen, my entire moderation team doing all this work. This is not a one-man operation. There are so many people behind the scenes helping us out, and if you want to help us out, we are always looking for more hands, especially as we're growing. I'm expecting to double our league next season. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of TF2, and I'm excited for ProLander. So thank you guys, everybody, for coming out here. I love you so much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.